Greetings, everyone. It is Dynasty Mirror Search for Uru. Thank you so much for joining us. As we always do before we get started, we just want to thank you all for the support. It really means a lot. Again, thank you all for the support, for supporting the Search for Uru platform, for supporting, our free bay. Well, okay, it's Carrot Bars till October. Free bay, just
Freebay is now.
okay.
No,
Our
Freebay is now.
free bay partners, and we'll get into the acquisition. We'll go into detail about that. Again, thank you guys for joining. And in regards to Freebay and Carrot Bars, we have some exciting announcements. Make sure you guys go to dynastymirror.com. Again, go to dynastymirror.com. And while you're there, buy the critically acclaimed.
Critically.
Okay, no, not critically. Critically. Is that the right term? Critically acclaimed? Yeah.
Critically.
Okay, there we go. Critically acclaimed book, Sales Motivation 101. Get off your arse and cold call. Written by yours truly in that gray, slim fit European suit. Dynasty Mirror. That is I is he. Go and buy the book, you guys. Go and buy a copy. All right, do yourself a favor and go buy a copy of this book, everyone. Thank you very much. Also, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the content. And also, while you're at dynastymirror.com, make sure you subscribe and join the email list so you guys can stay up to date in regards to what's going on with Dynasty Mirror, the brand. I have a couple of announcements, big announcements coming up in the next week or so. Like I said, we're growing, we're expanding. I think that's very important because you guys support me, and I know you guys want to see the growth and be a part of that. So that's what we're doing. We're growing, you guys. So thank you for joining us and being a part of that growth. Also, Patreon. Become a monthly Patreon, guys. Patreon.com. Search for Huru. Again, when you guys are a monthly Patreon and you pledge monthly, not pledge, when you give monthly, all right, you see your pledge or your donation or Patreon, I guess that's the correct term, at work. Again, I'm put the money back into the business so you guys can see the brand grow. Without further ado, we have a special guest on with us today, as we do about 6 days out of the week. Brother Fitzgerald Stevens is on with us. And today's topic is why you have to think outside of the box during COVID or coronavirus, and not just during coronavirus or COVID, moving forward. And to be honest with you, even before coronavirus and COVID, you had to think outside of the box. But it isn't. It's not a luxury now. Like you have to do it. Like you have no choice but to think outside of the box now. So without further ado, we have Brother Fitzgerald Stevens on with us today. Unfortunately, he's an Alabama fan.
Beautiful people. Hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's an Alabama fan. Thank God they didn't have a game this weekend. I'm probably would have lost. And Fitzgerald would have been depressed. We don't want Brother.
Yeah, we don't want to be depressed, man. We certainly don't want to be. I don't know why we get depressed over anybody anymore who don't send me a check.
All right. You got a point.
So that stuff. It only took me about 50 something years to realize that. But they don't send us checks nowadays. We don't even get depressed.
Right.
So hey, so I hope everybody's doing great. It's I thank God to be alive. Thank God to be talking to you great guys and ladies and everything, and just talk about you with some things that we're seeing with the market and with some things that we're embracing a totally new economy now from what we've seen before, what we're accustomed to. The things that happened in the past, it's kind of been turned up on their head. When I say things that happened in the past, i.e., you have that's job security, and that used to be a valid term, Prince.
Right.
You did have job security when you hired with these companies. They did a better job of taking care of their workers, making sure their workers had a job, and making sure that they was putting a good viable product out there in the service. They knew in order to put a good product out there in the service, they had to hold the good people. and they had to really take care of those people because it used to be such an open job market, man, where the economies were booming so much. You can leave one place and then probably have a job in a day or two at another company. But we're seeing those days are going away. And why are they going away? Let's look at some things that I noticed in the United States of America. Back in the 80s, they had this movie called Wall Street, was with Charlie Sheen and Michael Douglas. Michael is one of my favorite actors, and it was based on the Michael Milken story. Michael Milken is a real live gentleman. Well, back then they had what they call corporate raiders. Corporate raiders would come in there and they would buy a huge amount of stock of a company that they deemed that was pretty good and profitable, and then they would break it up into components. They would sell that company in pieces, and thus realize profits in that. And really the economy hasn't really recovered much from that concept. For example, now we're seeing instead of the raiders, the corporate raiders. Now we're seeing the hedge fund corporations. Hedge funds does a lot of that too. They can come in there and they can buy up huge blocks of stocks. And if they choose to keep the company intact, great. But if they don't, they just sell those divisions off and break it up and sell more profitable divisions, and keep some of it. Each and every time they do that, it could be that people who are part of those divisions, they're deemed expendable. In other words, they're out of a job and stuff. And so we're seeing this model, and this model's not going on over here. It's happening in many countries around the world. That same concept. It's people who necessarily don't have the experience, but they have the cash. They're looking to extract liquidity out of that company, or they're looking at to acquire tremendous shareholder value. So really, when you're dealing with most of that type of concept, it seems, and I'm not going to say this is with exact science, it seems that just primarily works for the shareholders. Okay, and so and at the simultaneously, we start noticing that this so-called job security start disappearing. In the 80s, now it's taking some time to dwindle down. You didn't see that right away in most cases as a whole, but in the 80s and the 90s and definitely the 2000 now to 2020, you do see a lot of that. You'll be surprised at how many of your corporations are owned or are owned by private equity firms, or they have a huge chunk of the stock within that corporation. What does that mean for you? Well, all depends on what they decide to do with it. But it definitely means that if you're seeing that concept that you're not able to hold on to jobs like they used to. You're seeing your wages are not really keeping up with inflation or cost of living. You see the gross inequities of wealth distribution, that the rich are truly getting richer and the poor are truly getting poorer. I believe there is going to be no such thing as a middle class pretty soon. I believe you're either going to be rich or poor.
If I can interject, Fitzgerald. So cities like San Francisco, they're having a exodus right now. People are leaving the city. But guess what? Real estate prices are still going up.
Mm-hmm. Because they can't afford it, there's many people who can. Now there are many people who can. We're looking at different dynamics now. Now you can go in Seattle, Vancouver, British Columbia, just a little bit north of Seattle. You can look at San Francisco too, and we see a lot of newly minted Chinese millionaires, multimillionaires coming there scooping up that property.
Right.
Scooping up that property. Most cities you would think that you had that type of people leaving, that you would have so many occupancies in apartments. For example, whoever would have thought that Manhattan would have 15,000 apartments on the block right now?
Oh, you read that. I read that this week.
15,000 apartments in Manhattan. Used to be one of the hottest real estate markets in the world. It was every bit like Seattle, every bit like Tokyo, every bit like Moscow. and every bit like San Francisco. So we're seeing a lot of exodus going on there. And then, but yet in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, the San Bernardino, San Jose, the rents are not dropping, but yet we don't hear anything about crazy apartments orders not fulfilled. But we do hear about crazy homelessness rates going up
and evictions too.
Unfortunately, that's the truth. Now, so evidently, someone are able to acquire those properties out there. But I assure you, it's not someone making minimum wage. It's not someone you couldn't even do it over there like $100,000, $150,000 a year. You can do it, not with houses over there. No. Not with the exorbitant of houses and stuff. So once again, it's going to be either rich or poor. Now, but for the most part, not unless you were able to be a professional athlete, not unless you was able to hit it really, really big, like in Hollywood, and be A-lister actor or actress and things. In order to acquire those type of wages, you have to be in business for yourselves. I consider real estate agents to be in business for themselves. You have to be able to have something that you're able to make your own money without cap. You have to. I mean, it's going to come to a time where that's just literally going to have to. It's going to have to be the standard in order just to basically keep up with living. I mean, just we're not talking about really thriving much. We're just talking about living. Just to keep up, because wages are not going to keep up in accordance. So that's why you see so many people open up home-based business. Right. It's projected that within 5 years, and I actually think the number has risen because of many of factors that we're seeing now, especially with the COVID and the different trade, the trade inequities and the tariffs inequities. It is getting right now that we're expected within the next 5 years, 75 million people are going to start a home-based business. Right. 75 million I think it's going to be more, but a home-based business. So why are they interested in starting a home-based business? You think many of those people are gainfully employed? I would say yes, they are. But evidently, if they were satisfied with their employment and they thought they was really doing what they could do, and for the quality of life they want to have for them and their family, then why are so many people looking into create additional income? And why are so many people not looking to create additional income by getting an additional job? Why are they looking to create additional income by starting a home-based business? I'll tell you why. Because they realize that they have their ladder leaning up against the wrong building. No, you can't do it for anyone else like you can yourself. You're not building any equity. To put it like this, working persistently with the ideal and the mindset that I'm solely going to work for someone else. I'm solely going to work for someone else is the same thing as saying I'm going to rent an apartment all my life instead of trying to buy my own house. Then you rent an apartment. When I rented an apartment, I stayed there for years. All I had was a bunch of rent receipts. No, and I helped pay that apartment off and that building off, me as well as many attendants. But it felt so much different when I had my own home, because I knew every time I was paying something, I was paying something that I owned. So it's a different type of feeling, different type of dynamic. And so if you want to take that concept and you say, well, okay, I can work a job, great. I can build someone else's wealth system, and great. I might have some great benefits. Hey, maybe even have a billiards table and a ping pong table in the break room. Great, but it's not yours. You are extendable any moment, and you're not building up any equity for you and your family. And please don't tell me about a 401k is building equity. No, you're not. A 401k generally is tied to either company stock or you don't really have control over that like you want to. It's subject to the whims and the whims and the falls of the stock market. I mean, look how many people have lost money out of those things. So it used to be it wasn't a 401k. It used to be that your money was going into a pension that you knew was guaranteed. It wasn't at risk. It used to, you knew back in my mom and my dad's day, that's how it was. That's how
Mine
it
too.
was with Prince Amir's mother. And 401k. And that's, what are you talking about? She wouldn't have a clue what you mean.
All right.
But then again, she's worked on the same job about 40 years.
Right.
A state job. So she don't even know how to get out there and compete. Go to a computer. Look at something like that. She wouldn't have a clue. What totally different generation. No, so they're putting more. If you're already taking the risk they're putting more of the responsibility for your retirement on you. 401ks, and you can do Roths, and you can do a lot of things like that. But let's look at another one, major one. Health insurance. It's many people don't want to leave their job because of their health insurance. I could certainly understand that. Used to be your health insurance program was almost like Congress's, maybe a couple steps down. Congress have an incredible, the politicians have an incredible healthcare plan, even though they got to vote on the rest of us to see if they want to. Well, that's another subject. Right now, it's not necessarily guaranteed healthcare that you're on these jobs. Many of them are moving to the health savings account.
All right.
Health savings account. So more of that responsibility is put on you to have quality health care for you and your families. And some of those costs have darn near prohibitive copays. And many people don't want to do that. So if they're shifting all that money, many of those responsibility on you, it's automatically telling you that maybe you should do the same thing and start taking that leap of faith and go out there and put a business together where you can have the tax breaks. You can be able to have no cap on your income. You can give yourself cost of living raises. You can make as much as you want. You can be innovative and bring services to the market that people are willing to pay you for. And the fact that you can, more importantly, leave income to your family. You're building that business. Let's just say if we had Amir Airlines, and that has a nice ring to it. Okay, Amir Airlines. Okay, and
Amir Air.
Yeah, Amir Air. Okay, Amir Air. So he had that, and he's building that up. And let's just say 20 years, man. He's established good routes in Africa and opened some routes up to the United States, a couple in Europe, even Australia, and even Asia. Okay, so he starts out with a small plane, and maybe he starts out with a Cessna plane. And he's just in Nigeria, he's just taking people from, I know, what is the other large city besides Lagos?
Yeah, Abuja.
Abuja. Okay, so he's just making charter trips from Lagos to Abuja. Okay, and he's doing that with business, business personnel. Just charge them, then charge them. Then he decides to add some helicopters on it because the millionaires in Lagos, they don't want to drive through the traffic jam, and they just want to jet through the helicopters. Many wealthy people do that. Okay, and so lo and behold, he builds up, and then he gets another Cessna, then he trades it up and gets a 20-passenger, little larger plane. Then he moves up and he gets a 50-passenger. Then so now he has a fleet. Okay. Now, so 20 years, we're looking at company valuation somewhere maybe like 1.2 billion. Prince Amir's owner of that. Let's just say with his wealth, with him as investors, he's close to $400 million. Okay. He says, I want to get out of this business. I'm just talking. Massa don't want to do it. Massa told me he want to be a professional soccer player. So he ain't interested in doing my company. Okay. I'll liquidate it. I'll sell that. I own darn near 70% of the company. Pay me out, or boom, lo and behold, he rides off in the sunset because he has the equity. Meanwhile, the employees are sitting out there who have worked with him, someone very, very good. He wouldn't have got to that evaluation without having good employees. They're trying to figure out how they're going to find the next job because Prince Amir decided he don't want the game no more. No, he started the company at 38. He laid it down 25 years later. 38 add 20, that's 58. Add 5, that's 63 years old. So 63, he don't want to do anything. He just tired. He don't want to do nothing. No, he may want to write books from his oceanic penthouse. That's fine. So because he had the equity in it, and he can do that. Meanwhile, other people like, gosh, man, I worked there all my life and all that, and I was good to him. Yes, he was, and he paid you. Yes, he did. But that's what we're facing right now. Now, and so, incidentally, while he was putting the airline together, he didn't quit his job. He just did doing a little bit until the job eventually started earning enough income for him so he could quit. He just didn't go, oh man, I got this business, I'm just going to stop. I'm going to stop working. That wouldn't be wise. But it would be wise that he has created something. He started off with a little Cessna plane that he bought from someone shooting bad and stuff like that. And he got that, and then he parlayed another. He added some more routes on. Got in some more decided he's going to do shuttle service, and then bought some parking lots where he could charge for parking, like the airport parking. That's just creative, just doing that. So 25 years, he is up there. His son doesn't want to run the company. Cool, he don't care. No, he has something like $400-500 million in the bank because he built something. Now let's reverse it. Instead of him starting Amir Airlines, he works for
Amir Air.
He works for Fitzgerald Freight. Okay, and so I'm in the shipping business, and I'm shipping stuff all over the world. I got some great routes. He works himself up that he's like my general manager. Of the Lagos division. I mean, I have a sweet organization over there because I'm shipping oil out of Lagos. I'm shipping it with the quickness. No, and that's what I'm doing. I'm still operating. I'm operating maybe out of Lagos, between Lagos and Tampa. Hear me real cool now. And so I see what he's doing. He's got great things on it. Heads on his shoulder. I decided, hey man, you know what? Let's go ahead and make you president of the African division. I'm going back to Tampa. I'll just run it from there. You just report to that, okay? And I take real good care of him. I take such good care of him that he doesn't want to go anywhere else. And that's what employers often do, because they can't afford to lose good people. So they'll pay you just as much to stay, but not enough for you to break wealth. For the most part, they'll pay you just enough to stay, but not enough for you to leave. Not enough when you leave where you can really build wealth. So Prince stays with me 25 years. Okay, all right. Maybe he has some stock options in there. I have the 400 million. Let's just say he walks out with a nice retirement package about 3 million. But I never would have got the 400 without using his talents. I built something. Now he never diverted any of his salary. He was just so cool with Fitzgerald's Freight. He thought he was part of Fitzgerald's family. Fitzgerald probably invited him over, and gave him some yogurt that he liked.
Right. I love yogurt.
You're part of the family, but when it have time to sell, Fitzgerald's children or have that company. Who is Dinas Amir? They may not even deal with him like I do. They even though they grew up around him, they might say, now when I'm alive, it's Mr. Amir. When I'm gone, it's Dinas. What are you doing? Because they're my heirs, not his and stuff. And so he's like, wow, all that time I helped build up that I didn't build anything of my own. And this is what we're seeing. This is what we're seeing, because people are not looking at, okay, there's a pandemic going around. Okay, wages are going down. Okay, the blockchain revolution is coming aboard. Okay, they're telling me I can't find change. They're telling me, that they don't have any change, even though they're able to print money. Okay, look like they're trying to get away from the dollar. Okay, we're seeing goods and services go up higher. Okay, and I'm seeing all this stuff, yet I'm still thinking that everything's cool. I'm seeing people losing homes. I'm seeing homeless cities in Los Angeles and New York and many
San
places
Francisco.
around the country. And people are getting destitute. But I don't think I have to do anything. I think I can come home and after working eight hours for someone else building their wealth, but I can't come home and get on the phone like 2 to 3 hours after that and build something for me and my family. And choices have consequences. You can do that, but there's going to be a price to pay at the end of that rainbow. And,
Right.
and you're either going to have a pot of gold, or you're going to have a pot that's rusted out. You lost the value of time. So doing what we talk about, building your own business, creating your own wealth streams, creating residual income, maximize on the tax benefits of having a home-based business, saving in assets. It is absolutely bona fide critical that you do that. I don't care how well someone tells you that the economy is going and what their long-term outlook. I could change a company's long-term outlook easy with a checkbook and a couple zeros at the end of it.
All right.
I hope y'all caught that. I could change a company's long-term vision easily with a checkbook and a couple of zeros. Do you think Jeff Bezos can change a company's long-term vision?
Yeah.
Whole
Foods.
Yeah. Do you think he can? You think that man can come in there like, I like what you guys doing. You seem to have a pretty good distribution network. You're very well respected. Then everyone has a number in business. That's what you work for. You work for profit. But let's say a company starts out, a $5 billion valuation, and the owner's like 90%. He's sitting in there, and some they come in there and stroke them a check for like $6.7 billion. Maybe he'll take it, maybe he won't. More likely he will. And they say, well, I'm going to absorb some of the debt in addition to that. Well, more likely it's a wrap. Then you're reading about this. Well, Amir Air was sold to Fitzgerald Freight, $2.3 billion. And you're going to have the nice speeches. We think that combining Fitzgerald Freight and Amir Airlines will be a better synergy for the whole of the company. We think it's going to create a big dynamic between the United States and the African continent, and we're looking forward to increasing capacity. They don't know that I just got on the phone and put Amir out in on the yacht over in the Atlantic Ocean. I said, man, listen, how much paper are we talking about here? What it take to do this? Mm-hmm. Well, man, I ain't seeing anything, Mr. Fitzgerald. I ain't seeing. Okay, Dinance. What's the number? Evidently, did I assault you by writing this? What's the number? The 800 million, you ain't feeling that? Did I assault you? Okay. How about 1 billion? Let's just call this right now. It's cashier's check. Really on that? And I'll take your debt too. Well, in morning news, Prince Dinance Amir, owner and CEO of Amir Airlines, Amir Air has decided to sell the Fitzgerald Freight for $1 billion. Terms of policy undisclosed. That's how they do it. And see, we're talking big numbers, but we're not talking big numbers. But I'm talking the same similar concept. You see, because if you have built something, you have the equity in it, whether you decide to sell it, whether you decide to expand it, that belongs to you and your family, as opposed to you taking your talents and working for someone else. We have got to see this. We have got to look at that. It's not hard to work for yourself. It's harder to work for others. It's harder to convince yourself that you're working, that you have a job or that you have a title and that it's yours. It's not your job. I hate to break that to you. It's not your job. Can you be fired from working your current job now?
Yeah. course.
It's not a trick question. Can you be fired?
Not my current job, but
okay. But people are working a job. Can you be fired from your job? The answer is yes. If the answer is yes, it is not your job. Can I be fired from my platforms? No. Can Prince Amir be fired from his platform? No. Does anyone decide how much money we can make? No. Okay. Who do you lead the company to? Whoever I want. Can you leave your job to your children with the income? No. Do you have the tax benefits of your job? No. Do Prince Amir and I have the tax benefits from the company that we do? Yes. No. Can we acquire assets? Can we leave that to our dependents? Yes. That's the difference. That's what you want. That's what you want. Notice I didn't say anything really much about making a lot of money. It's not about that you're really making a lot of money, although that's a great way to keep score. But it's about leaving generational wealth. And that's what the many of things that's hurting so many communities, because they don't have a plan to leave generational wealth. They don't, and until you get that, how do you possibly look to break the cycle of perpetual poverty if you don't have a plan for job creation that you own the system to do it. So I feel so very, very strong, very strong with that, and there's a lot of great ideas out there, and many of you, all of you listen to the sound of my voice is highly intelligent. If you're able out there to do something for anyone else, you can certainly take a talent for yourself. Well, how do you start? How do I start? Two things you're going to need. You're going to need capital, and you're going to need mentorship or knowledge. I don't care what your state are. I don't care what your status. You're going to need capital, and you're going to need a mentorship or knowledge. Someone needs to, and if I had to choose who's the most important between the two would be the knowledge. You're going to need someone to show you the ropes, someone what to do. I can open up any type of business that I want in the world right now. Any type of business. Well, Fitzgerald, you don't know it. Let's say you want to sell medical devices. You don't know medical devices. You've never been to school. What they got to do anything? I have it here. I can find the guys who know the system. And the only thing I want on my business card is owner. I mean, prove it to you. My first business was an automotive shop. I'm not a mechanic. I have certain things I have learned by being around the business. I know about certain tools. For example, I had a $14,000 Snap-on Veris scanner that I couldn't use, but I owned it, and I would let my employees use it to make me money. I didn't know I couldn't. If you look for me to fix your car, depending on what it was, I could tell you, hey, I could change a filter depending on what it was, but I couldn't do much more of that.
Right.
I just knew how to put the system together. I knew how to find the people who I need to do who I need to get done to get the job done the way I want. I knew how to market. I knew how to gather an audience. I knew systems. In order to do what I do. And so I was excellent at incorporating others to build wealth for me. I didn't have to know the business, and you don't have to know the business. You got a great idea. Now, it does help. It does help if you do know the business. Right now, my business is gold and cryptocurrency. Now, among other things, then I'm also working to put together a janitorial business. I know all those. I'm learning those rather. And so I'm abreast of that so I can do some of the work, but nevertheless, the same concept is a thing. Build wealth by incorporating the efforts of other people, leveraging my time, just like your boss and job does you. Now, if you want to go like put a McDonald's franchise, the franchise is a very good model because they already have a proven system. Proven results. Generally, you don't see many of them going out of business. No, pretty good system with the franchise model, or the traditional business model, where you're independent. If you got a great idea for a marketplace and a good niche and that, Why not? There were many burger joints around. There were many burger joints. McDonald's, Burger King, and all these, many of them. All of a sudden, this guy decided he's going to make a place called In-N-Out Burger.
Mm.
In-N-Out Burger. He just created many. Hardee's was many right there. He started that. He started that a couple decades ago. His daughter, who is a sole heir, his grandfather, the grandfather started, left it to the son. He started parlaying. Now his daughter's the whole sole heir, is a billionaire for someone selling burgers. She didn't start anything, but she's a billionaire because of the equity that was passed down. The grandfather had ownership. She's in that bloodline. She has the ownership. Okay, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm quite sure they had many of people there who worked, but they didn't have any equity in the company. They didn't get anything. When I used to live in a town called East Point, Georgia, not too far away from where Prince Diane's Mayor lives now. There was a Waffle House called Number 7 Waffle House, and there's this lovely, sweet black lady.
Where in East Point?
It was right on Washington Avenue, Diane.
I know exactly where that. Okay.
Okay, and it was called the Waffle House Number 7. That's the only one I could throw in my mind. Waffle House Number 7. I kid you not. There was this lady, the beautiful black lady, who had worked there for 50 years. 50 years. The two owners personally knew her. When she finally retired, she didn't get her own Waffle House. I don't know. She got a couple of waffles. 50 years. 50 years. Now, obviously, she enjoyed what she did. I mean, a different generation, far as what I'm saying. Obviously, she stayed there. When you stay in that place for 50 years, you like something about them. But you get what I'm saying. I'm not knocking her decision. But I would have want to do something different. I'm figuring if I'm that long and I've been in the business and 50 years and I got that access to owners and stuff like that, maybe I'll learn how to put my own restaurant together where I can do something on. I mean, it all depends on what you think. It was different back then. Just recently retired, probably like less than 10 years ago. Okay, COVID didn't exist then. These trade imbalances that the news they're pointing into, they wasn't so galvanized right now. But there was some race issues, but not like it is right now. Not like it is right now. I mean, you're finding out a lot of who your friends is and who they're not. Just in a town not too far from Diana's Riverdale, Georgia, where I live, and they have a black sheriff. 2 cops on there beating up a guy. He's in an Uber car as a passenger, and they're roundhousing him supposedly because he didn't want to show him an ID. He didn't have to. I wouldn't show them mine either if I'm a passenger. But we're looking at all these comments coming from people. For people like with a lot of the different decisiveness in this country. But you know what? The business owners, they don't seem to much argue around each other. It comes down to, do you have the money or do you don't? And so you need to think about how can I leave resources for my family while at the same time protecting myself. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to work anyway.
Right.
You're going to work for someone. You're going to put in the work anyway. You're going to put in the work for someone else, or you're going to put the work in for yourself, or you're going to put the work in for someone else in yourself. But you're going to put the work in. 5 years is going to come. Retirement is going to come. Whether you decide to divert some of that time to build a platform for you and your family, or you decided just to work on someone else's platform. Whatever you decide, that's your business. You like it, I love it. But what I want you to know is, don't expect in this economy to ignore the words of Prince Amir, that you got to think outside the box. Right. That's the whole purpose of this thing.
One second, for sure. Guys, in the chat rooms, my affiliate link, again, my FreeBay affiliate link. Click on the affiliate link. Also, scrolling at the bottom of the ticker, it will be in the description box. Again, click on that link, sign up as an affiliate. I will get pinged and I will give you a call and we'll get you guys up and running. Again, in the chat rooms, my affiliate link. Click on that affiliate link and I will get you up and running. And Fafu Malal, you need to log into your Karatbars account, accept the new terms and conditions so you can transfer over to free.
I was just getting ready to say hi. Fafu Malal, how are you doing? I hope you're doing very, very well. It's great to see you. Great to see you back on the stream right here. Mr. Kadosis, Calidosa or Miss, I don't know which one. Listen to this point right here. There is 1.6 billion people globally out of work or lost livelihoods due to Corona. 1.6 billion. I don't see so many people finding jobs or lost their businesses. I suppose being creative is more important. Yes, sir, there is. Okay. Which is one of the reasons why and thank you for that comment. Which is one of the reasons why I advocate, Prince Amir, doing something online. Starting an e-commerce business. Let me tell you why. Because if you're starting an e-commerce business, not the traditional businesses where you have a building and you have a product and people are coming out there to see you. Not that that's bad. It's an excellent model, but it's really under assault now. Okay. Do you think Neiman Marcus has more money to you? Do you think Lord and Taylor's have more money to you? They did. Do you think J.C. Penney have more money? You think they have more recognition and things like that? Absolutely. You know what killed all of them? One of the things that killed all of them, many of them love going in these high-priced malls. Right. You know, you go in there and the air smell is filtered for that. I don't know what they was charging them for rent, employees, and lights and stuff. Well, they had a lot of overhead, and then on top of that, they did not really have a very, very strong internet presence. Let me explain that. It seemed like their business model when it first started out, people walk in, you get the clothes, you put on the clothes, or you buy the kitchen and bath items, and you just go to the store, fight traffic, fight the parking there. So they didn't have a presence. So back in the 90s, about 25 years ago, probably 96, just a little bit after Google came out, there was this guy on working on Wall Street. He likes books. So he's like, I can market this stuff online. What did I call it? Amazon. What's his name? Jeff Bezos. He starts right at his home and said, I'm not interested in stores. The internet can be my store. All I have to do is get enough servers and get people in there, and I can be like a distribution center without the big distribution buildings. Right. Back then, and I can have my stuff drop shipped to people in my area up in New York. It starts out with New York, translates it into the state, goes to different cities. Now this company is Amazon, where I can look out my window right now and see and see their trucks running all up and down this community, and I'm only ones of hundreds of thousands. Right. I mean, I could call Dynath. He could tell me, they're running up and down my community in the West End too. I could call Dennis Cunningham or in Birmingham. He'll tell you the same thing. I can call Chima in Arizona, and pretty soon I'm going to be able to call Fafu Lao wherever country she's in Africa, and they're going to be over there too. And so the internet, what makes the internet so powerful? You can run a multi-million-dollar business from a phone booth, and no, I'm not exaggerating. From a phone booth, but let's just be more realistic. From your own garage, you have a computer, you have a smartphone, you decided you want to put a product, you have a drop ship to someone, they get the product, you don't keep any inventory things, they pay the cost of shipping, they pay for the product, the money is dropped in your account, your partners make money, you make money, and you never left the house, you never jumped in your car to go to a commute. Right. And so those are the type of businesses I look for. Now, my janitorial business, you know what? Perfect storm. They're talking about with COVID, people needs cleaning. I know how to clean very well. No, I guess that's my Virgo personality. I don't know, but I'm very, very meticulous about my cleaning. I can go there, go from my garage, keep my stuff right in here, go to the client's house. I don't need a building yet. I have a friend, his wife does that up in Welland, Ontario, Canada. Last year she did about $70,000. Just set their own hours. I mean, that's good money by anyone's standards. She doesn't have any employees. I think that's pretty good. And so you look at where there's needs, but nothing like the internet. Nothing like the internet where you have a business that literally doesn't sleep. You can market literally all over the world. Okay, Prince Diana Samir, let's talk about it. Okay, entrepreneur, author, tour owner, t-shirt manufacturer, best-selling podcast host. Yeah, I guess they get a podcast coming pretty soon. He does it from his home. He does all his 4 businesses from his home by way of the internet. Now, I've never watched a man watch TV. When I go to his home, I can't even tell you where the TV is. I don't see it, but I see extraordinary Apple Mac computers, and I see good internet connections. I see microphones. I see him sitting at that desk right there. I see the stuff but for the modems and things like that. Man, his business is online. I personally, I mean, like myself, I don't own a TV. Why? But my Dell computer and my Samsung smartphone, it is on, it's burning, it's turning, and so I look at the way, how do I create it? Okay, if you don't have like $1.2 million of capital to go buy McDonald's, or maybe buy a Chick-fil-A, or buy any of the number of franchises around, what's your next option? Consider doing a referral-based business. Referral-based networking business. What is that? You build your own customer base. You're building a customer base within a business, and you're getting paid a percentage because you're bringing customers. Okay, therefore they have the building, they have the product. No, they have the logistics, they have the software for the computer. You have all that, but why did they need you? They need you to get customers. And you, as a term of working in that system, you are able to create an extraordinary uncapped income that you can lead to your family. Okay, and so consider that if you don't have the capital to go up and do that, you don't have to worry about paying the expenses and everything. That little shop business that I had, mortgage, the rent, $4,000, the loan, $5,000. I had to make close to $9,000 before I even turned my first wrench. Mm-hmm. Centos uniforms, Georgia Power, different fees I had to pay, state taxes on products, employee taxes. So I had to do, and I had, my thing is, I had to be doing something like $20,000 a month just to stay in business. And of course I wanted to get paid too.
Right. Every
single month. And but now, and I had JT, I probably had about 3 technicians and 1 B tech. Okay. Talking in shop things. And you know what? They got paid first before I did. Okay. Now it was 6 employees. Okay. But it's okay. Pretty cool. Right. Now my referral business in Freebay that deals with gold, to be saving an asset that's in 149 countries, have close to 12,000 business partners in this, getting paid my commissions, saving my assets, helping other people build wealth. I run that business from here in Tampa, and it's all over Africa. It's in Africa. It's in the Caribbean. It's in Australia. It's in North and South America, including the United States and Canada. Down, as far as with what it's expanding. I'm sitting here running that business from a cell phone and a computer, because I don't have the $35 million to go ahead and start something like this. So I profit from that. Meanwhile, I'm concentrating on my janitorial business, and I may concentrate on getting another flow of income in too. But the majority of my money comes from that, running from home at 56 years old. No, I 235. I just started working at 2:55. I just started working at 2:00. 15 minutes, about 20 minutes prior. Then I was ironing my shirt, hoping I didn't leave any wrinkles in it, to get on to talk to you guys. I set my own time. Woke up close to 10 o'clock. I was tired because I'm one of those night hawks and all that kind of stuff. But still, I can still galvanize my business and galvanize my business partners and still help them create wealth. And through a company called Freebay. It was free to join. You guys know it's a carrot bars. We metamorphosize the thing. Free to join. We're still saving in gold. You know, so now now we're looking to move into the crypto sphere, that we can show you how to do that.
Right.
Now it's your own thing. You know, there are traders in the cryptocurrency market, and you know, you have to acquire the education. It's up to you to get the experience and education. Some of them make it $100, $300, $500 a day, $1,000 a day.
Right.
No big deal. Just income streams. So with the way the new economy is right now, you don't need to go out there. You don't need to go out there necessarily solely depend upon working a job. You need to find a system. Think outside the box. Think outside the box. You know, whether you put a YouTube channel together, have one of those too. You know who inspired me to do that? My youngest brother and Prince Dinaz Amir inspired me to do that. You know, I got really inspired. Dinaz has one. Okay, and I see what he was doing, you know, and if you're gonna bring a revenue to you, you have to have exposure. People have to know who you are. People have to know who Fitzgerald Stevens is. That's what Find Ways to Win is for. Okay, they have to know who you are, and they have to see you in a good light. And then once they see that, and you know, you have some knowledge, they want to do business with you, because people like attaching themselves to winners. And people like attaching themselves to people who seem like they're concentrating on helping them more than they're helping themselves. And so many of things out there, think outside the box. I'm not going to talk to you about what COVID is doing and what the foreclosure rates is doing and stuff like that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the best time in the history of the world. If you've been standing on the fence to put that business together, is the time to do it is now. Because you know what? You really don't have an option. You truly don't. No, Dinaz likes this story, and I'm kind of laughing at it right now. I wasn't laughing at it when it happened. I assure you. You know, I got fired one time. I didn't even know it. You know, I literally got fired from a job one time. I didn't even know it. No, I got fired on a Friday. No, from a job. It was raining, Buffalo, New York, on Main Street. Walked across to Wendy's. No, because I love Wendy's chili. Got over there, realized I forgot my umbrella, swiped my card. No, the light didn't turn green, stayed red. Wiped it off, swiped it again, stayed red. I'm like, nah, man, these cats ain't, these cats didn't do this. No, we just had a Christmas party. They just said, dude, you're doing a great job. We love you, man. Hey, man, you get a future. You want one night, bro.
You're tearing it up, buddy. You're tearing it up, buddy.
The cat who made the decision gave me a little Christmas card. Here you go, Fitzgerald. Get a piece of cake. Knew they had made that decision. I got in the building. The security guard let me in because he didn't know I was fired. I was gone with my college degree. Ripped my thing. I was gone. Had to go back and tell my wife, as far as the Christmas, you know, hey, I don't have a job anymore. Wasn't my fault. No, man, that tears a man down, that you know, that he feel like he can't properly provide for his family.
Right.
You know, it just does that. Not necessarily a woman. Not necessarily it doesn't do it with women, but as being a man, I can speak as a man. I know how we think. I mean, you can't provide, man. It just destroys something in your psyche. It really does. No, and especially the stuff keeps happening over and over again, or sporadically. So that did keep happening to me, and it happened to me to such a point. Like, man, I thought, man, am I cursed? I mean, I not insubordinate. I work hard, but yet this stuff should happen. But I noticed something. When I have my businesses, and I have my business, I don't get called from the HR department saying, Fitzgerald, man, you better do better. You're on Dot Loper, man. We're firing you. I don't get that. You know who fires me? I do. By not properly taking care of my customers, not properly taking care of my clients. I do. And I was already used to working hard for someone else. So I just figured I'd work hard for me, and I started getting better, started getting more educated. You switch off YouTube and you get stuff like that book right there, The Prince has, or you get something like this, Grant Cardone book. And, you get your mind, how you could think as a business leader. You switch off World Star with two chicks trying to see who can snatch each other's wig off the fastest. You don't do that. You quit being concerned about the NBA playoffs and what LeBron is doing and what Carmelo is doing. Their family is fine. You put down the funny comics and you pick up the business page. You're gonna be on the internet. You stop watching a lot of CNN and talk about what Trump and all that stupid stuff they do. You watch NBC or Bloomberg.com or Yahoo Financials, and you start looking at, man, what's this new emerging industry of the blockchain coming up? How do I get on that? Let me learn how to read stock report portfolios. Let me learn how to invest in penny stocks. Let me learn how to put my money in the way it's going to work, and that's what you do. And you make your time value. Think outside the box. You quit calling Dynas Amir. Hey, Dynas, man, your school and my school is going to pay each other October 16th. Alabama is going to win, man. Hey, you want to bet a chicken biscuit? One on that? That's what we used to do. We literally used to bet Chick-fil-A chicken biscuits on a football game, but with two teams that didn't send us a check. Even if he should have caught it more than me, because he used to play for the University of Georgia. They wasn't sending him any checks. Okay, we promoted that 15 years of our friendship. We just stopped talking about that foolishness really as hardcore just last year. Why last year? Because we decided we can make money together with the business we're in. In fact, that Kane's like, Dynas, these guys ain't putting a dime in our pocket.
Right.
You University of Georgia grad, I'm University of Alabama. Whoop-de-doo. Mm-hmm. What do they do? We promote them. I used to promote those guys so much. My wife told me, hey, you should work for them. She literally told me that. Because I was up there telling kids in Canada, man, Alabama. I wasn't on Alabama's payroll.
Right.
Now, if I sit up there saying, open your own business, set you up a free FreeBay account, click on Dynas Amir's link, open up your free savings account. Let's deal with gold. Let's learn how to trade. Let's learn how to create income by inviting other people in. And then that's growing. That's booming. Then once we get the income stream, let's look at other income instruments that we can do. In other words, I'm trying to work you out of a job. Mm-hmm. And you say, well, hey, Fitzgerald, I've been here 18 years, man. You think I should quit? Absolutely, unequivocally, no. You're too close to retirement. Go ahead and put those extra 2 years or whatever. Get that pay, but still be working on your own thing. But think outside the box, because, ladies and gentlemen, your ship is not going to come in. Your ship is not going to come in. You got to build your ship. And the way the economy is right now, man, you got people with long faces. Or you got people like, man, this paper's going to come. Or you got people, I don't know what I'm going to do. Or you got people like, man, let's grab this bull by the horn and get this paper. You got people like, hey, you just been fired. Oh, please, what can I do? You got people like, you've been fired. Man, shit. I already got 11,000 caps on now building up for you. I can go ahead and do them on. I appreciate it. I can go do what I do. All right. It's an attitude. It's an attitude. It's not an arrogant attitude, but it's an attitude knowing that you can put something together. Knowing what you can put something together. I remember when I got the call from Prince Amir. He said, man, what do you think I should do on my job, Fitzgerald? They cut my territory. And I said, he said, what do you think you do? I think I should quit. I said, no, Prince, don't quit. Mm-hmm. Don't quit. Let them fire you. At least you can get unemployment.
And listen. I tried to get fired. They wouldn't fire me.
They wouldn't fire you because they saw the game. So finally, next call I got from Prince. Hey man, I quit. I never asked him, what are you going to do? I knew what he was doing. I knew the type of man he was. Mm-hmm. You know, and the smile on his face, I promise you, because he was up in a 6-figure income with what his job. That's not easy to replace. But you know what? You couldn't dynamite him back there now. You see how this guy is smiling right now? He's been doing this for years. Just started off, you know, it started off because in a lot of ways he was forced to.
Yeah.
He was forced to do it because, you know, he's sitting around there bebopping along, presidential club with his sales, riding around a nice cell phone, you know, package. You know, he went out and bought him a Porsche. He balling and stuff like that. Never mind that light bulb. Remember that light bulb we trying to get fixed one time, Prince?
Yeah. I got to fix.
You know, so he thinking he's good. They let him know exactly whose job it was when they called him in Africa and told him what they cut his territory.
Right. And Ivory.
Thinking he had a territory. Thinking he had
Ivory. Territory. Got the phone call.
It wasn't his territory, it was theirs. And so they cut his pay out of all that stuff like that. But it's awfully funny. And this applies to everyone listen to the sound of my voice. Prince Amir, when they cut your pay, did Georgia Power say, you know what, Prince, man, we appreciate what you're doing. These cats don't cut your pay. Let's go ahead and adjust your bill where you can go ahead and do it. We want you to do it. Let's just go. Hey, did the grocery store say, man, you know what? I'm sorry they cut your pay, man. We're going to drop these prices down for you where you can work in because you're such a good customer and everything. How can we help you? You know?
No.
It's funny but that happens every day, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't do this, if you don't build something for your own self, just forget about FreeBay. You know, great opportunity. Prince Amir's link is registered down in there. You know, register free, sign up as an affiliate. We'll go ahead and contact you, give you different information, plug you into the training, show you how to build wealth like that, like what we've been doing. But even if you don't do that, you're going to have to build something. You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to put something of your own. You don't have time to be afraid. You don't have time to be scared. You don't have time to sit and think about it. You know, because time is getting by. My God, man, I can go on and on and on, but I'm not. September 8th, 56 years old. I feel great. I feel like I'm 16. I kind of like this age. I have more wisdom than I used to do, you know, back in my past. But nevertheless, I can't deny looking right here now, I'm seeing a patch of gray hair. 14 years, I'm 70. You know, wow. Add another 8 years on that, I'm where my dad is. You know, about 7 years, I'm where my dad is at 77 right now. I can't tell you where the time went, but I can tell you this: what I'm doing and what I'm saying for you to do. I wished I would have started sooner.
Right.
I wished I would have started in my 20s. I wished I would have started much sooner because I was so concentrated on building other people's wealth because I thought I needed to have a job and I thought that's what the thing. I just let so much time, and I didn't build up anything for myself or a business for myself. I don't make that mistake now. If I go out and get a job right the heck now, if I take a seasonal job because, you know, Christmas season's coming up, I go get a little money, I'm still going to work on my FreeBay business. I'm still going to work on my plans for my janitorial business. I'm still going to do that. I'm never going to turn my whole future over to anyone else anymore. And so, you know, with the FreeBay, you know, hey, that's free to join. We deal with gold. We can show you how to be successful. You have a global business that you can run online with your smartphone, your computer. We can show you how to make an income that can easily replace yours, or you know, and if you're looking at to do things like that, if you don't have any other options. If you do have another option besides working on someone else's job solely. So this is what's going to happen. Things are going to increase. For some reason, Prince, and I said this on this show before, and I'm talking to people who have heard me say this before. Some reason I had it in my idea that when 2021 come, poof, all of a sudden, COVID was going to be gone. We'll go back to normal. No, well, actually, I had it in my eye. Actually, I was thinking about it was supposed to be in the summer.
The heat.
I had it in my idea one time. You know, God, I hate to say this. Maybe I'm being too truthful, but I'll just say it. I had in my ideas, China. So in China, I don't need to worry about that. Mm-hmm. I think I heard a report. They said black folks don't get it. I'm black. I'm cool. I'm not joking. I heard something like that. I'm not joking.
Right.
Joking, Prince. Okay. Until Prince Dynasty Amir called me I called him on a Saturday night because we talk every day. Back. So, man, how you feeling? Man, I'm running a fever. Man, you'll be all right. Just go ahead and sit home and just, he didn't take my advice. He went to emergency room. And in my mind, I was thinking COVID. Because I told my brother, man, Dynasty went to the hospital. I didn't want to accept that. That's my friend. That's my brother. I love this man. My friend. The close friend. He called me and said he had COVID. I'm like, oh man. I was concerned, but I didn't let him know it. Okay. And now it became very, very personal because it was someone I knew. Then my stepson, he called me a little later on and said he had it. When I went up to my dad's birthday in January 4th, my father's birthday is July 5th rather. I drove up to my home state, Alabama. I hadn't been up there all this year and stepped in. And then all I know is when I was going to go see my precious mother for the first time in my life, I couldn't put my arms around my mother because I had to look at her from like a glass. She was behind on one side of the glass. I was on the other side of the glass. You talk about something that gets personal to you. And the reason I made that trip, really what galvanized me to make that trip, besides my mom, she said, I'm lonely. I said, oh, hell, I can't have that. I got to figure something out. So I went there, sat on the other side of the glass. And it's changing everything. It's changing everything. And then got equally upset when I found out some guy that runs this country, he knew about this and didn't make certain actions. And I thought about my mom that I couldn't, it's a whole nother thing. I'm not blaming no one. I'm not going to do that. But what I'm simply saying is you got to be prepared. When I went to go see my precious mother, I didn't have to call someone. Hey, listen, I ain't seen my mom in all year. I want to go up there and see her. Can I have permission? Man, I don't do that. I put a bag in and go because I put myself in that position where I can have some choice. Think outside the box. Do something in addition to your job. If you got a job, God bless you. Many people can't say that. If you got a place to stay, God bless you. Be thankful. Many people can't say that. Put something together while you're in that position. And if you don't have it, if you're having to live with relatives or you have the downside, open up you a free Freebay account. Dynasty Amir and I will show you how to be financially successful with that. But you're going to have to work. But please don't sit up there and don't take this thing right here. Okay, I got a job. Let me go on Indeed. Let me go ahead and do the cycle over and over again. They fired me. I lost a job. Let me go try to find another job.
Right.
Without getting anything else. But so, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here. I have to do a couple of income producing activities. I got to make a video after this on my YouTube channel is Find Ways to Win.
Everyone, go subscribe. Find ways to win.
Find ways to win. So I got to I got to go to work and make that video as far as with that and just talking about what's some options for us for people. And we so appreciate do something. The time to think about it, the time to think about putting something and building wealth for you and your family is long past. And if we can be a help, okay, register for free with this. And we can, but Prince Amir and I have helped a lot of people, build incomes in this. And it's no big deal. We have a system that plugs in and they show you how to plug that system in and show you how to get knowledgeable how to build income for you and your family. But and to that, we'll see you next time. And God bless you all and hope you have a very, very prosperous day wherever you are. Thank you. And like Mr. Pete Burnell, and I agree. It is a great time to be alive.
There you go.
It is a great time. Thank you so much.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Affiliate links in the chat room. Click on the affiliate link. Sign up as an affiliate. I will personally call you. We will get you guys up and running. Until next time, family, Dynasty Amir, search for Huru. Peace.